Hey guys, welcome back to The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time LP. This is episode 13. So last episode we did a few things. We got some gold scatulas, some upgrades, um, and we met another FMG, a little Goron, and he told us that Darunia has gone to the fire temple to try to get rid of the dragon, Volvagia, that Ganondorf said he was going to use to eat all the Gorons. So yeah, in this episode we're going to be doing the fire temple to its entirety, so you're going to want to stick around with me in that. But yeah. And here we have Darunia. Oh man, like already. Who's there? Is that you, FMG? Oh, it really is FMG. You've grown so big since I last saw you. I want to have a man-to-man talk with you, but now's not the time. Ganondorf is causing trouble on Death Mountain again. He has revived the evil, ancient dragon Volvagia. Yeah, we heard about that one Goron. On top of that, he is going to feed my people to that evil dragon as a warning to other races that might resist him. If that fire-breathing dragon escapes from the mountain, all of Hyrule will become a burning wasteland. I will go on ahead to try to seal up the evil dragon. I'm concerned, though, because I don't have the legendary hammer, but I have no choice. Well, now we know what the item is in the dungeon. FMG, I'm asking you to do this as my sworn brother. While I'm trying to deal with the dragon, please save my people. The prisoner's cells are in the opposite direction. I'm counting on you, FMG. And like that, he just goes through the door. Okay. So, with that being said, like you said, the prisoner's cells are in the opposite direction, but there actually is a Goron over here that's being in jail. Maybe he got the jail card monopoly, I don't know. Anyway, so if you talk to each one of these Gorons after you free them, they're going to tell you a helpful tip. So for instance, this one says, I'll tell you a secret for saving me. In order to get into the room where Darunia went, you have to do something about the pillar stuck in the ceiling. Find a path that leads to a room above the ceiling right away. So I'm going to show this off in just a second, but each one of these also has a small key. So after you save a Goron,
how'd that get in there?
You'll get a small key in the chest behind them, which will allow you to go further into the dungeon. So the pillar in question that he was talking about is this pillar right here that's stuck in the ceiling. There's a way to get up there, and in order to get up there, we need to go through the entire dungeon. Also, I want to show you that while you're wearing the Goron tunic, you can walk in lava and you won't instantly get like teleported and lose health. Like you can walk right through it like it's nothing, but if you stay in it for too long, you will eventually start taking damage. We needed that small key to go through this door, so let's go through here. And this is going to be the main area of the dungeon, and it's on multiple floors. But what you want to do before you do anything else, you want to turn immediately left, and you're going to start heading towards this area here. There's some of these platforms that, and there's also red bubbles, yeah. Some of these platforms sink, and then also some of them shoot up in the air. But there you'll see a Song of Time block. Before we actually mess with that, we're going to go through here. And then we're going to step on the switch, and we're going to free another Goron. And this Goron is going to tell us another hint. Or secret, rather. A wall that you can destroy with the Goron's special crop will sound different than a regular wall if you hit it with your sword. So, it's not really referred to, but if you think about the key thing
how'd that get in there?
You'll notice that the special crop that in question is actually bomb flowers. So they're saying that if there's a wall that is bombable, you can't do anything with your sword, then bomb it instead. And it should break the wall. And I'm going to demonstrate this here in just a moment. But first we want to play Song of Time to get this block down here. So yeah. And just like that, we have a pathway. It's like magic. Right, so heading through this door, you're going to come upon a new enemy, two new enemies, or I guess that's a new enemy, yeah, tiles, and then also likes. These tiles can be taken out with your shield if you just let them crush into you, and then you can also use your sword as well if you feel impatient, but here we have a like. These things will eat your shield and your tunic, so be careful. They're kind of annoying. As you can see, its head's poking up. Their head is invulnerable. You can't do anything about it, but they're like the middle part of them is the weak part. So here we have another gold scatula to collect that one. And yeah, we're gonna make our way back. This dungeon's kind of difficult. It's not really hard necessarily, it's just difficult in terms of its linearity. It's actually not very linear, so to speak, but it also is somewhat linear. Here we're just going to head straight ahead to the other side, and you'll see that there's like a blocked wall, which I'm going to talk about here in just a second. So over here, if you climb up this area, you'll see that that wall, like, you know, it's just there, it's just weird. If you hit it with your sword, you'll hear that it makes a different sound than a regular wall. So that's another hint throughout the Zelda series that kind of gives you the idea that, oh, this wall's bombable. And actually, I tested this to see if this is like in other games, and yes, it is. It is very prevalent, actually. There are many instances in the Zelda games where there's like a hint between where you can hit a wall and something different happens, unless that's bombable, and you hit a regular wall and something different happens. So like you can decipher from that. This Goron is going to tell us another secret. There are switches in this temple that you have to cut to activate, but you can also use the Goron special crop to do the job. So we can also activate switches by using bombs. This is essentially what he's saying. So we're going to get this key here.
How'd that get in there?
Alright. So now we're going to make our way over to death. We're going to make our way over to... Yeah, see, there you go. I took a little bit of damage there. And also I fell down. Whoops. Oh, and there's a fire case after me as well. Okay, bye. We're going to make our way over to the other side. Actually, not this side. It's going to be this side. I went the complete wrong direction. You can just head straight. It's fine. We need to get to that locked door there. Sure, it's going to hit me. Alright. So heading through here. I'm going to slide down. There's going to be like this little pillar of fire here. That there's this block that comes down. Or actually, not yet. Hold on. I'm thinking too far in advance here. What you want to do is you want to climb this grating. You want to get rid of these keys while you're on this, just so they don't cause you trouble later, because they can fly around and be a little annoying. Also, when it comes to gratings, you can't, like, jump off of them, because then the game thinks you're trying to, like, climb down it, which is what was happening just there. But oh, and I missed the heart. Dang it. There's some recovery hearts over there, as you can see them, but we're going to push this block here. So there's a fire pillar, yes, but the block isn't on it yet, because you actually have to, like, push the block on top of it. And then when it falls, you jump on it, and you just wait a moment, and it shoots you up like that. It's super, cinematically super cool. Then you get up here, and then there's another small keys, or locked door. So, as you can see, we're kind of like one-to-one with the locked doors and the small keys that we're getting. But there's another Goron here, and he's like, please don't eat me. If you eat something like me, you'll get a stomach ache. You'll be sorry. So here we have another new enemy called Torch Slugs. These things love to charge at you, and they take some hits to defeat, but they also are very notorious for dropping magic, so keep that in mind in case you need to stock up on magic. Also, once they see you, they like flare up, and then they like start charging at you, and then they try to like run away after a while. But we have this switch. I don't know why Link just like moonwalked and like pulled the block back when I was holding forward. That was weird. That switch will be explained here in a second, what we need to do with it. So we're gonna pull this block onto this little symbol here. We're gonna climb up. And then we're going to, like that Goron said, we can use Goron's special crop, or bombs rather, to activate switches. So this switch is on a timer. To lower the flames if you can hear it. Yeah, you can hear it as it goes. The switch, like, you know, if it run out of time, then you won't be able to climb it, so you gotta be quick. Here is what I like to call the donut room. You'll see in a minute when we get a map what I mean by that, but I'm gonna step on this switch to the far left of where we came from, and also you can see the grating go through the wall. That's kind of jacked up in the sense, but yeah, it's also kind of funny, the limitations. Like, how simple this game is, yet how complex in the same way. Squad has another secret. In this temple, there are doors that fall down when you try to open them. When one of these doors starts to fall, move. If you use a sample of the Goron's special crop, you can break it. Which will also be something I'll demonstrate here in a moment. Here we have another small key.
How'd that get in there?
There's going to be tons of these throughout the dungeon. I think we've like freed maybe not even half of the Gorons yet, so be prepared with that. I'm going to head this way. I think we're going to want to head through... We can head this way, actually, really quick before we go anywhere else. Whoops. Actually, no, wait, hold on. Before we go further... Well, we want to go this way, yeah, actually. Really quickly. I think that... Oh, that was weird. Link, like, went right through the door before he did it, but the animation still played. That was super weird. Alright. So this Goron has yet another secret. I swear these Gorons could, like, unite with all their secrets and beat this temple, honestly. When you are on fire, you can put it out by swinging your sword or roll it by rolling forward. Did you know that? Something that's, again, consistent with other Zelda games. You can also, in some games, you can do spin attacks, and it does the same thing. It gets the flames
How'd that get in there?
off of you. So you can avoid taking excess damage. Alright, so before we actually head to that small key locked door, I'm going to head around here because there's something we need to do. So again, if you hit this wall with your sword, you'll see it's bombable. And you can also see this too as a way to reveal it, but of course if you've never played the game you don't know that, so... Or if you haven't ever gone to this area and tried to hit this gold scutula, you wouldn't know that either, but yeah. So there's another gold scutula for you. So now we're going to make our way. Also take note of that little crack in that floor there. We're going to need to blow that up with a bomb here in a minute. But we're going to head this way, I think. Is it this way or is it back? Yeah, I always get confused in this donut room. I mean, it's very easy to see where you're going, but it's also very complex because everything looks similar. We're going to head through this small... I always want to say small key, but it's a locked door. Here we're going to want to shoot this eye switch. And then, I'm not trying to jump off the side because if you jump, you actually fall down. You go down to that one room with all those like platforms that raise and lower and stuff, and that bridge in the middle, like basically the room that we went to right after we saw Darunia. So be careful with that because then you'll have to climb all the way back up. Here we have the map. As you can see, I'm gonna pull it out here in just a second to show you. It's kind of a very linear dungeon, but not really. I mean, it's 5 floors. It's not too bad, but it is pretty complex, I will say. Especially considering the fact that we've gone like out and around and we're gonna have to head back down and all that stuff you'll see later. So anyway. Yeah, so here in this room. We're gonna jump here and just be like, oh, it's a firewall, we gotta go. Yeah, not like Firefox or firewall, yeah, like protection, whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. So here are some recovery hearts. They kind of incentivize you jumping up here, but if you jump up here, you can actually dodge the flame completely because you're too high up, so you'll just like completely, it'll just miss you. Yeah, now we're chasing the fire, imagine that. Just doing this to stock up on health because it's interesting. Also, something else that I want to mention is back in the... I'm actually going to do this first. So here we're going to want to equip Farore's Wind, just like the Forest Temple, how I demonstrated that this is a very helpful thing to use, especially in these temples that have a lot of areas, and especially with multiple floors like this, so you don't have to climb all the way back up, you can just use the warp point. But what I was going to say is this temple actually, before it was patched for another update, it actually had Muslim chanting in the background of the music. But they changed that because they thought it was too religious and it would have been, I guess, an issue. But yeah, something that's not a lot of people know, but is one of those hidden, like, cool things in Ocarina of Time. I'm trying to get Navi to talk to me, but it's taking a second. She's like, FMG, I hear Goron voices down below. So we're going to bomb this. And we're going to fall down. Also make sure to hold forward so you don't, okay, or take damage, sure, whatever. Link's kneecaps are fine, it's alright. You can step on the switch. And then there's that Goron from earlier, how I talked to him, he's like, oh, don't eat me. He's going to tell us yet another tip, or secret, whatever. Somewhere in this temple, you're sure to meet up with some creatures that dance as they attack. Arrows won't hurt them. Whoa. Looks like you might need some of the Goron special crop. That's all I have to tell you. Alright, so basically, if you couldn't already figure this out, the special crop is
How'd that get
like
in there?
the go-to item in this dungeon. That is until we get the actual item in the dungeon. This is kind of trolly. When you start to climb up this grating again, I think the torch slug reappears because even if you kill it, you still have to defeat it. So here you're going to have to be a little careful. Yeah, so you can see it right there. It's flame. You're going to have to wait for it to turn around or be on a certain spot to where it doesn't see you, so it doesn't charge at you and knock you all the way back down. Kind of annoying, but yeah, it's part of it, I suppose. So here we're actually on the upper part of what I like to call the donut room, and you'll see that there's a Goron and a grating right there. In order to free him, we're going to have to head around this way. And we're going to have to step on the switch way over here, and it's going to unlock that cell. Ah, I fell down. Ah, I fell down. Okay, so in this case scenario, what you want to do is you want to use Farore's Wind just to demonstrate. I'm going to use it again because I'm going to need to come back here, I believe. Maybe not, I don't remember. I just know that this is like a helpful thing, just in case if you fall down again, you don't have to do it. You don't have to worry about that. I was taking it a little bit too quick there, and I jumped at an awkward angle, so I fell down. That torch slug's trying to kill me, it's fine. Also, thankfully there's torch slugs around here and they drop magic, but anyway. Also, something interesting is, I didn't know this, but apparently, and this is something I'm learning as well as I'm playing this game, is I didn't even talk to the Goron, but the Goron's not here.
How'd that get in there?
So I guess once you free the Goron, and you don't talk to them, but like, you know, you make the area like basically reset, I guess the Goron, there's something in the game's code that shows you that the Goron talked, and it's kind of unfortunate because that Goron... What I was trying to say is that Goron specifically, if you talk to him and then he starts walking away, he walks into thin air. It's kind of funny, but oh well. I guess we won't get to see that. So right here, something that's kind of weird is that there's like, Navi turns green when she flies up there. Whenever she turns green, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last episode, but whenever she turns green, that means you can play the Scarecrow song and make Pierre appear. Yeah, try saying that 3 times fast. Pierre appear. Yeah. So here we're going to hookshot to him, and it's going to take us up to the next area. Just over here. I guess you could supposedly just make your way all the way around, but this is faster, and it's a little more convenient. But yeah, so you can head up here. Alright, so we're going to go through here. You hear that scratching sound, there's another gold scutula, and then you can also see there's gratings again here. There's a lot of gratings in this dungeon, and also just these weird faces from them, but obviously shoot the gold scutula before you collect it. You can climb up it or use your hook shot, whatever, it doesn't matter. We're gonna head through this door. Now this is one of those areas where you're gonna want to definitely use Farore's Wind if you can help it. I'm not going to because I already have it activated. I don't know why I slashed my sword there, that was weird. But I guess I just was trying to cancel out and I hit the B button. So this here is a little interesting. What you gotta do here is it's a race to get to the treasure chest. So what you want to do is, what I usually do is I start rolling out, and then I hookshot to this, climb up it, jump off, try to roll, and then I just try to make my way to the chest before the timer runs out. And in this chest has a gold or a huge rupee. It's just 200 rupees, quite a bit. So now we're going to want to make our way back down, and what you want to do here is you do not want to touch the analog stick at all. You want to just jump and then just let go. It'll center you so that you can head back down here. I believe it's through this door, which is closest to the eye switch. Yes, it's that. Okay, so we're in this room yet again with the firewall. So it's going to be there again. But this time, since we're able to make our way through, we're going to want to jump down, I guess. We're going to want to jump to this... I jumped right over the fire. You want to jump to that platform there and head through the door. And this will take you to the other side of the dungeon. So yeah. Alright, so this side of the dungeon is a little more interesting. If you check down here, Navi will turn green. She'll tell you, oh, you can see down from here. Isn't that the room where we saw Darunia? Also, I think there's a, yeah, I was going to say, I think there's a fire piece that's coming towards me. But yeah, if you look down, you can see that there's that pillar that, down in the room where we saw Darunia, where that pillar, we're finally up here, to where we can actually do something with it. You want to head through this door here on the side. And I think this is going to lead you to, yes, a large chest that has the compass. Something that's kind of important in this dungeon just because there's so many treasure chests, especially with the Gorons, like having one behind them that has a small key. I think that's actually the most useful compass in the entire game in terms of where you find them in the dungeons and temples. Oh, whoa, there's a boulder right there. Through here, there's like a firewall that you want to block. Also, as you can see, there's a door here. Yeah, I'm going to show the animation. So Link acts like it's a door, but it'll actually come down and hit you. So if you use the Goron special crop, you can actually blow it up with a bomb. And it'll just completely get destroyed. But we want to head to this side. And you gotta be careful here because there's so many areas where there's a firewall. And you also want to be careful of this too. And heeding my instruction, I'm good at doing that. I ran right into it. You want to make your way around. It's actually not that treacherous. You just gotta be a little persistent with it. But here you're gonna see that there's like this little pathway that you need to take to get through here so you can get to this locked door. And hopefully you have a small key here so you can do this. Also through here, you're going to see that there's a Goron, again, with a small key, or a chest, yeah. That you can get a small key in. And then now you're going to be on the other side of where you were before. There's be like this just wall of fire that you couldn't get through. But now you're through here, so you're fine. You just step on this switch, and this switch is yet on another timer. What I like to do is I just like to hold left on the analog stick, so I head straight over because the camera's kind of weird, and then you just make your way straight, and you just do that. So here in the next room, we're going to be coming upon a new enemy. This is a fake door, by the way. They kind of want to make you think that it's a real door, but it's not. A little cryptic trick. Nintendo is super cryptic in their games, I've noticed, but yeah. Here is the dancing enemy that the one Goron alluded to. In order to defeat this, it's called a flare dancer. What I like to do is I just like to throw a bomb on it, and then as soon as the head pops out, I just jump attack it. And you have to do enough damage in order for it to cycle through each color, so it's going to go from red to blue to green. And then when it's at green, that lets you know that it's on its last phase, and once you hit it and do enough damage to it, it'll be defeated. But it randomly jumps out wherever it goes, so you just kind of have to watch it and be vigilant, but it's fine. And then you just do that, and it grows big, and it blows up, so get out of the way so you don't get hurt. Alright. Then climb up here, and this block's going to raise up. Or platform, rather, is going to raise up. Then we're going to go through here. Alright, so you're going to hear it. You're going to have a switch. Then you're also going to see a wall of fire, so you're going to want to do like what you did in that one room and throw a bomb, activate the switch, then climb up this quickly so that you can make it. And I think Link automatically turns in the cutscene because the game like wants to focus on like what just happened so that you're oriented in the right direction, because it is kind of hard to wrestle with the camera. Alright, and this is where I like to use Farore's Wind, because if you want to use it anywhere, you want to use it here, especially because this is like this is really hard to do without practice, and it's very, very, very specific. So what you're going to want to do is you want to step on this switch, but then you're going to have to work your way on the inside all the way up to that treasure chest before the fire ascends again and comes up. I kind of had myself oriented the wrong way. So if you don't get there in time, or if you jump down or whatever, then you're gonna have to do it again. But thankfully I did it on my first try. It takes a lot of practice. This is one of the most frustrating rooms in my opinion, because then if you fall down that huge hole, you have to go climb all the way back up. So I recommend using Farore's Wind. And in this dungeon we have, like I alluded to in the first room with Darunia, we get the Megaton hammer, and there's a fire case. This hammer is insane. It does a lot of damage, and it has the same effect as a bomb, except it doesn't destroy walls. That's the only thing this thing doesn't do, but it does an incredibly amount of damage, just like another sword, and it also allows you to solve puzzles like this. And then also with these types of statues, you can use the Megaton hammer and just completely destroy these pillars, yeah. Alright, so in this room, what I recommend you do is I recommend you get rid of these fire keys, because they're going to be a hazard later, and just... It's kind of annoying, because you're also going to want to try to, like... How did I not hit that fire keys? What? Got him. Come on, fly right into it. There you go. I'm going to get this recovery heart before I move on, because I just don't like being low on health, honestly. And also, speaking of health, I need to get more heart pieces. We might actually do a video where I do some things and some cleanup before I go to the next temple, just because there's so many things we can do with the items we have available, and the world's going to be a little more open to us after this temple. But anyway, so you want to hit that block with your hammer, and you want to grab a crate, because there's going to be a blue switch down here that you need to weigh down in order to keep pressed to open this door. Alright, so in here, we're going to hit this. Oh, also you can side-swipe it with the hammer, which is insane. That's so cool. Also, the hammer allows you to... This switch looks rusted. Yeah, well, we have the hammer, so we're going to force it down. We're going to go into this room. And in this room is where that one Goron was. But before we do anything, because this is important, we have to do this actually to free the Goron, is we got to play the Song of Time in order to move this time block. Hit it with our hammer. Alright, so now that Goron's freed, we're actually going to talk to this one this time and not reset the area. Whoops. Are you releasing me free to go? I'll tell you a secret for saving me. A door is hidden inside the statue at the entrance to this temple, but the Goron special crop won't work on it. Don't you have anything stronger? Referring to the hammer, which we already thankfully have, yes.
How'd that get in there?
Alright, so we got a small key. Then we're going to jump across the way here, and then we're going to pound on this, and we're going to fall all the way back down to the area where we found Darunia. Now, the issue with this is we don't have the boss key yet, so we can't actually fight the boss. So we're going to have to go find the boss key, but if you remember what that Goron says, at the entrance to the temple, there is a statue that we can break with something supposedly stronger than the Goron special crop. And we can also break this keys too, and actually I did that at the same time. That's actually insane. Okay, can these keys please go away? I'm sorry, but like, I'm just, yeah. Make sure also you have a small key at this point. If you do not have a small key, you'll not be able to go to this next area. Something also really cool that I didn't know for a while is you get hit by another fire case. No, I knew that. If you use the hammer, you can actually flip over the torch slugs, and it makes them so much easier to defeat. And I think they actually... Yeah, no, they don't. Okay. I'm just going massacre here and kind of just like playing somewhat haphazardly, but it's like these enemies don't even do that much damage to begin with, and not only that, but they're super easy, especially if you flip over the torch slugs. It's like not even that difficult. They can't even hurt you, really. So here we have more tiles and another like-like. I like to get rid of these just so that the room doesn't feel as treacherous, and also, especially with the last view, you can just use your sword. I think you can actually use the Megaton Hammer on the like-like. Yeah, you can, wow. That actually does quite a bit of damage. That does as much as like one sword slash. That's kind of crazy, actually. Also, like-likes are good because they drop like a ton of rupees. Also, here's another gold Cthulhu. Let's grab this one as well. I don't know if that was the last one. I'm going to check really quick just to make sure. Yep, that was the last gold Cthulhu. Okay, so we've gotten all of them. Great. So now that we have the hammer, we can just completely skip the whole bomb issue and just literally pound the ground right next to him, and it just instantly activates it. So we can just basically cycle him through super easily now without using bombs, which is great. And he's almost defeated. Just one more, and he's all good. Or apparently he's going to take a lap, and then we're going to... Okay, he's going to take 2 laps, and then we're going to defeat him. Once he spots you, he turns around the other way and starts running. Yeah, so here's a chest here. I think this chest has... It's so strange. I think this chest has bombs in it. It's like the weirdest thing. I don't know why it has bombs, but oh well, whatever, I guess. Tells us how to use bombs for the millionth time, I suppose. Alright, so here we have this rusted switch, and then this Goron that actually was locked behind a grating with a boss key chest. You could have went through this area. This wasn't blocked off in the beginning of the dungeon. He's like, oh, I see. Big Brother Journey asked you to rescue me. I owe you big time. Please help Big Brother. Will do. Will do. I did that like in my eye. I meant like will do. Will do. Alright, so here we have the infamous blue and gold chest, and we get...
How'd that get in there?
The boss key. Alright, so now, officially, we can fight the boss. And here we go. We're gonna fight the boss. So here you're gonna come into this area with a lot of lava pits around it, and also just a huge lava area surrounding this huge pillar here. And the ground's gonna start shaking. And the platform that you used to get here is going to sink down into the floor, so you can't come back, basically. There's no return. And the boss is going to pop out one of these holes. Subterranean Lava Dragon Lagia. This is kind of an epic boss, and actually this boss is really hard if you don't know what you're doing. But I'm going to show you the easiest way to do it for me. That's simple. So the first attack he's going to do is, this is his main attack, he's going to come out of one of these holes, and you're going to smack him with your hammer, and then you're going to want to do a jump attack. If you take too long, he's going to breathe fire at you, and it's going to do like, I think 2 or 3 hearts of damage, which is insane. So here's what he's going to do, is he's going to start circling around. I like to shoot him with arrows just because it does a little bit of damage, and actually if you shoot him with arrows, he goes back in. If he doesn't, he'll start chasing you around and breathing fire. Fire is like the worst attack that he has because it does so much damage, especially this early on. But yeah, and then he'll also do tricks like that where he'll start to emerge from one but then quickly switch over to another one, so it's like playing whack-a-mole, which is kind of funny, but yeah. So here he's going to go up to the ceiling, and what you're going to want to do here is there's going to be boulders that are going to fall down. You can actually walk in lava for a bit if you don't want to stay on the wall. But what I like to do is I just like to hang out on the wall on the side and just wait till the boulders are done. And then he's going to sink back into the hole, and then you can climb back up, and it's not going to be that difficult for you to avoid them. Although they're still going to go on. But you also want to be careful whenever he comes out, because I think if you're too close, you can get hit. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's basically the same 3 somewhat attacks that he does. It's just a matter of a pattern. Here, I don't know what he's going to do. I think he's just going to fly around. If he does start flying around, you can just stay in one spot and then just get your shield, and he's going to circle around you like this, so he cannot hit you. That's if you don't shoot him with arrows. It's actually not that hard to avoid. It's more if you start running around like crazy. then he'll start shooting fire at you, and he's faster than you are, so just be aware of that. I think after this one he is defeated because it's not that many hits until he's done. So here, yeah, see here's already got me with a claw attack, did 2 hearts, but he's defeated. So that's it. Bye-bye. He's going to start circling around himself, and he's going to basically burn himself to a crisp. It's kind of funny. What I really like about this is you'll notice that the head comes off and kind of stays there for a brief moment. You can actually get Navi to inspect it, and it says, Boss of the Fire Temple, revived by the Evil King. I don't know its weak point. Yeah, well, now it's dead. So, grab the heart container. And yeah, step into the blue light to see Sage of the Fire, Darunia. Well, here we're going to actually have a cutscene that kind of shows the volcano erupting, and how all of a sudden the sky turns back to a pretty blue, showing that it's at peace. Good work. Thank you, brother. I really appreciate what you did. I thank you on behalf of the entire Goron race. You turned out to be a real man, just as I thought you would. By the way, I, the Wild Darunia, turned out to be the great Sage of Fire. Isn't that funny, brother? Well, this must be what they call destiny. Nothing has made me happier than helping you seal the evil here. Hey, brother, take this. This is a medallion that contains the power of the fire spirits and my friendship. And, like always, dun, 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 dun. You see the fire medallion! Darunia awakens as a sage and has his power here. Sweet. And then he says, don't forget, now you and I are true brothers. Not sworn, true. What a brother. Alright, so here we are back in the Death Mountain crater. Before I end the video, I'm actually going to show a couple things off, just so I don't forget to do them in the next episode. Also, it kind of doesn't make sense for me to end it now and then show these later. Here in the Death Mountain crater, you can head back to this area, and if you came over here before, you wouldn't really know what to do because it would have been blocked off, and you would have been like, well, there's no way I can get through here. But right here, you can use the Megaton Hammer to break these boulders, and it will reveal a cave. And in this cave is... you know what we gotta do. We gotta see, Pointy Boobs herself. The scream always gets me. It's so creepy, man. I don't know why Nintendo chose this design for the Great Fairy. I mean, honestly, I think it's more of, like, Greek mythology. Like, it kind of is supposed to resemble, like, purity and... anyway, but whatever. Welcome, FNG. I'm the Great Fairy of Wisdom. I'm going to enhance your magic power. Receive it now. Now, the upgrade she gives you is... oh, it's so good. Essentially what she does is... wait for it. Your magic meter's enhanced. So she essentially doubles your magic power, which is really helpful, especially considering we have a ton of things that use magic now, and we're going to get even more things that use magic. But yeah, when battles made us weary, we're not going to come back to see you. Sorry, I'll just get a fairy from another thing. But yeah, now we have more magic, which is just so satisfying. Oh man, it's so good, especially to have a full bar now. Um, so right here, I'm gonna actually go up here. I'm going to do a couple more things that I'll end the video off. I'm not going to get that piece of heart yet because that's locked behind a magic bean plant, which I said last video where I'm going to be doing like a whole video on that. But what I am going to do, because that would involve us having to go back here as a child, what I am going to do though is I'm going to climb down here and get this heart piece because I forgot to get this earlier when I went to the Death Mountain Crater and get that one Skatool in that crate. So there's that, and one more piece we can get another full heart container, which I'm sure I'm going to be getting here pretty soon. But yeah. Alright, so heading out of the Death Mountain Crater, I'm actually going to want to make it nighttime, so... because there's a couple gold Skatulas we can get on Death Mountain here. And I'm just going to be carefully making my way downtown, walking fast, Station's batch, and I'm homebound. Dun -dun 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 -dun. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I think there's a gold Skatula in this. Yeah, you can hear it scratching. Alright. So grab this one. And then there's another one. Down this area here, you can just jump off. And then there's going to be another boulder behind here that has another gold Skatula in it. And I missed. Whoops. There's another one. And actually, because I want a full heart container, I'm going to be getting this heart piece early. I'm just going to be flipping down and getting beat in the face with the boulder, and then, yep, collecting this heart piece. Alright, so we have another full heart container. Sweet, so that puts us at a good number. So, with that, guys, I'm going to end the video here. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, do all that if you enjoyed the video. Share this with your friends, whatever. And, yeah. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video where we go to the... Excuse me. I'm trying to end a video here. When we go to the next area. So, anyways, thank you guys, and take care. On that note, bye.